you guys know tax collectors in those days were hated. In Jesus, they were hated. And they were hated because what they would do is they were hired by the Romans to, get taxes. Say, look, we need 10% taxes out of everybody. How you get it, I don't care. Just give me the 10%. So they would go and say, hey, you know what? The tax is 20%. Right? If you don't pay it, you're going to jail. 20%, that's outrageous. In fact, it was illegal to charge usury, that kind of usury in Jewish law, but these guys didn't care. So they just put that, and that would be their commission, that 10%. So here's this guy, he's probably doing the same thing. Hey, my boss is going to charge you, this much, but I'm going to charge you 50% more on oil, 20% more on wheat, and that's going to be my cut, and I'm going to live large. This is going to be awesome. It wasn't necessarily dishonest. Everyone was kind of doing that. And when he comes and brings these people in to discount, right, their bill, he wasn't necessarily discounting, cutting into the owner's profit. He was cutting into his own. Your financial manager is saying, hey, I'll cut my commission in half. The company still gets their piece, but his commission gets a little to gain your business. And then he's wasteful with it, careless with it. That's why they call him unjust. He's squandering his master's resources. He's not a little kid anymore pouring milk. You're supposed to be responsible. You're supposed to take care of this. Not supposed to use a monkey and a dartboard. Come on. But then Jesus praises his cleverness. That's the head scratcher. We expect Jesus to condemn this guy for being, kind of lazy and irresponsible, a bad manager. Instead, he uses him for a lesson. Jesus says something similar in another place, where he says, I'm sending you out as sheep among wolves, and then watch this, be as shrewd as snakes. There's something Jesus is saying, that there's something about following Christ, and he said, I want you to raise your game a little bit. I want you to look at how the world does it, use that kind of intellect, that kind of business, and raise your game a little bit. But do it harmlessly. So let's move into the profound truth, because wealth is temporary, but wisdom builds eternity. Why is Jesus saying, here's the profound truth. The profound truth is Jesus is saying we should use what we've been given, our time, our talents, our money, for something more than right here. Because wealth is temporary, right? But wisdom builds eternity. A good financial planner will do what they call, you guys know this, will diversify. Right? You put all your eggs in one thing and the market crashes and you're toast. One stock and it goes, that's carelessness, that's neglect. A good financial planner says, hey, we've got a number of different options here so that when the market crashes, if the market crashes, you're still going to be safe. You're familiar with this principle. Here's a principle that many followers of Christ, many people who have said yes to Jesus, have either neglected, set aside, purposely forgotten about, choose to ignore. You come to these places in the Bible where you're going to take an X-Acto knife and just cut that little part out, because it's a little bit. Here's a profound truth. Here's a foundational thing that if you're a follower of Christ, it's foundational. It's non-negotiable in terms of people in God's kingdom. We teach the Bible here, and we can't cut out pieces even though they're hard. That foundational truth, that bedrock to those who follow Christ is this. I am not an owner, I am a manager. Everything in this world belongs to God. Psalm 24:1 says like this, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. Wait a minute, that's my boat. Wait a minute, this is my house. Wait a minute, this is my 401k. I went to work. I worked hard for it. I built this thing up. I did the work for it. It was my ingenuity. It was my powers that made this happen. You can't say that it's somebody else's. Well, I'm not saying it. The Bible is. And why does the Bible say that? Because you have to ask the question, who gave you the ability to get out of bed this morning? I made a joke earlier. I pulled a hammy doing that. Who gave you the strength that you have? Who gave you the brain that you have? Who allowed you to be born in the United States? Who provided for you the college, the resources to even go? You think you did all this stuff when it was only by the hand of God that allowed you even to breathe your next breath. See, we live in a culture that is very entitlement driven. It should be mine because I'm alive. You owe this to me because I walk on this planet. You owe me, and you can fill in the blank. You have employees like that. It should be work for you. You want to get rid of them, but they run to HR. And HR says, well, we'll have to take it to risk, and, then it's going to be this thing, no, we can't. And there's, I don't know if this is a good word or not, schleps. They're, is that a bad word? No, okay. So, well, sometimes Yiddish words can have some bad connotations that are not healthy in church. They're not good, and you can't. And they come in and they're like entitled, and you owe me this day off, and my uncle on my third mother's side is sick and I need the time off to go help them. And so it's part of and all the state entitlement. And we bring that into our time with Christ. God, I'm here, now bless. Oh, I gave my life to you, now bless. I go to church, now bless. Instead of God, I can't believe that you would trust me with this. God, you have put this in my hands. That is amazing. Now I want to manage it well. I want to steward it well. This is not mine, this is yours. I will not be careless with it. I will not treat it like a 4-year-old treats daddy and mommy's milk that they owe me. I will treat it responsibly. I'm not 4 anymore. Most of us put our time and energy and efforts in the things that we think are mine, serving my wealth to get me more. Jesus was really pointing, you can't serve God or wealth. I'm going to ask you a question. It's a bit of a rhetorical question, but if you're honest, and remember, you're in church, so just be honest with yourself. Nobody else is going to know, but you're in church. So how many of you believe that if you had more money, you would be more happy? Your hands are going up. Oh, and I say, hey, 90% of you, maybe more, of us would say, yes, you know what, it would solve this problem, and it would solve this problem, and if I just that, and if I just got the problem, and if I just this, it will make me, 90% of us. Yes. Now, if I switch to the question just a little bit, how many of you believe that if you had more Jesus, you would be more happy? Now some of you are like all righteous. Oh yeah, no, I'm kidding. Praise the Lord. God bless you. About 10% of us would be, I know the right answer, but I'm already tired reading the Bible. I'm already kind of prayed out. I already go to church, for an hour every week. I'm all right. We know the right answer, but here's the deal. Most of us don't diversify. We take all that we've been given, put it in our hands, and we invest it in making myself more happy because I believe more things, more stuff, more money will make me more happy. And I'm entitled to it because I worked hard for it. I can spend it the way I want to. And Jesus comes along and he just rocks our world. He says, guys, can I get you to diversify a little bit? Because there is coming a crash, and if all your resources are in this, you're going to be left with nothing. Be the smart guy in the group who says, I'm not just chasing after temporary gains, more for me. We all know the crash is coming, but we, like most people, just want to live for today. But every one of us will experience a market crash. Every one of us. Some of you are ahead of me. It's called death. That day is coming. when all that stuff that you have will no longer be yours. Not going to be. Your kids are going to fight over it. You have a really good will. They're going to fight. Yeah. And God's going to go, hey, what did you do? Verse 9, he says, make friends for yourself by means of unrighteous wealth, so that when it fails, they may receive you into eternal dwellings. That phrase, unrighteous wealth, trips people up. Is Jesus saying that money is evil? He's going, no, money's got no moral value to it. It's a tool. It's like a hammer. You can use a hammer to build a house, or you can break a window with it. It's a tool. So how are you going to use it? Here's the reason it's unrighteous, because no unrighteous thing will enter heaven. And it's not that it's bad. It's just not going to be in heaven. I know you realize this. There's only two things you're going to take to heaven with you. Only two things. Your character, right? How you live your life. You stand before God and he's, hey, here's how you live. And other people that go with you. Other people. That's it. What about my boat? Not going. What about not going. What about all? Not going. It's temporary. It won't last. There's going to be a crash. Money is morally neutral.